This is Reah, and this is Just the Who of Us, where we talk about a range of topics, including life events, current events, spirituality, entertainment, family relationships, as well as answering listener questions and more. I think I'm glad that everything we've talked about today, we've talked about, like I said, 5-10 years ago, this wouldn't have been a conversation that was had because I don't think that either one of us were in a place to have it. One of the questions someone asked is, why do this? What made you want to have this conversation? What made you want to do this interview and be on the podcast? And is it, if it's because you're on a journey where you're ready to heal our relationship, heal your own personal things? Why do this interview? Why be on this podcast?
I don't know the time and date. We all don't know, but this is one of the things I wanted to do. And I mean, if it was, we can do the 1-on-1 or on the podcast. I mean, it don't matter. But I wanted other people to also know because a lot of people had questions, and I understand and I respect that. I didn't want to leave this earth not letting people know what happened between us and how it came upon or whatever. Especially your mom and DeAndre. I mean, it's bits and pieces of it, and I'm glad that we had this general conversation. I knew it was gonna be no argument. I know we're both adults now and we're both mature now, so just had to get it out on the table. I think there was the things that I should have told you and how I felt at the time being, because it was like we was in love back then, 23 years ago, and I made mistakes, and I felt like that I took the blame that you didn't really have enjoy your teenage life because I had got you pregnant and stuff, and everything stopped, and DeAndre was your main priority. Said it hurts, that I couldn't change none, or I couldn't be a better person back then. I wish this Fred lamp right here should have been Fred Lampkin back then or whatever. That's what I meant to say, because I like the Fred Lampkin. I think everybody will accept this Fred Lampkin because I'm more understanding, I'm more knowledgeable, I'm open. I mean, a lot of things I wasn't open about back then that I should have been open about here recently. Because for a while, I ain't gonna lie, I did not tell a lot of people your age or whatever and stuff. And it would have bothered me, and they would embarrass me and stuff. And because it was a lot going on back then, especially in the 90s and 2000s, early 2000s. So that's why I wanted to come on here, just to get it all out and process it. Because even after this, I'm still processing things and stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just I wanted to get it out there. I really did. I hope whoever listening to this can forgive me. I'm not proud of some things. I'm not proud of things I have said. I'm not proud of not being that dad that DeAndre needed back then. because there was there was that time in his life that he asked me to father figure and stuff. Like you can only give so much love, but need that need that father love also. So
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Without going back in time, what is one thing that you would change about so I guess currently, what is one thing currently that you would change about your relationship with DeAndre and your relationship with myself?
being a better father and spending more time with him, and helping him out wherever he needs. You never too old to need help. As far as you and I, develop a good friendship, strong friendship. I don't have no issues with you. Very grateful that you're in my life or whatever. You gave me a beautiful son. I know you got your family also and stuff, but you know, here and there we can have a general conversation, maybe for like 5 or 10 minutes, and see how each other doing and stuff. Just about, the basic things, whatever. And um like moving forward, maybe getting out both our kids together and your husband and stuff, and we all go out, hang out and stuff if that's all fine. You know,
That's a, you know, my husband is very protective. I've known him really not too many, only a few years less than I've known you, really, because I met him in high school. Um, Getting him, he's not even a fan of this conversation, just to be fully transparent. Um, you know, he's taken a lot of responsibility over the years, over even before we got married, throughout the years, trying to put a positive male role model in primarily both DeAndre and Jada's lives. Um, as us being young adults, even just friends, you know, eh, if you're somebody who's listening and you don't really know much about my other children and their fathers, my 20-year-old has never met her father, not by my choice, but so her father's always been absent, and my current husband and my ex-husband really, but my current husband has over the years tried to show them a consistent male role model, whether it be as my friend or whatever. But I say all that to say he's very protective, and he is not in support of this conversation fully. So getting him on board, it's probably gonna take a while. Hopefully, there was a point where you and D'Angelo, my ex-husband, where you guys were friendly. Y'all would like, play video games together online and stuff like that. So maybe one day that'll be a the case where my husband is at a cordial level, but he's super protective, and yeah, it'll probably be a while for that. There's this consistent factor. Your father wasn't consistent. My father wasn't consistent. My father had addictions. He also, come to find out later on in life, had mental health issues as well. He was diagnosed as bipolar, also had an addictive personality. He had issues with alcohol, and things. My choice in men and fathers of my children have had kind of that same pattern, this inconsistency, this, I was this teenager who was so the cliche looking for affection and whatever, and in the wrong places, if we're being realistic, because regardless, being sexually active at 13, 14 is not that's not a choice that a kid with good values makes. You know what I mean? Like, your father was inconsistent, and then there was this inconsistency pattern with yourself. Mental health plays a component in that. Um, like I said, my father was diagnosed bipolar. He had addiction issues. Was there things in your father's life that you found out played a role in his inconsistency in you? And how did your own mental health play a role in your inconsistency as a father yourself?
My dad told me this year that he didn't come around much because my mom kept him away from us. I guess from protecting us or whatever. She felt like she was protecting us and stuff. Um, so respectfully, I guess he didn't come by. Um, yeah, I guess like he was just like me or whatever. My mom fussing him, blah blah blah, and he didn't want to hear it. He didn't want to fight or argue in front of us. I never seen my parents argue or whatever in my life, whatever. I mean, they got divorced when I was like 5 or 6, but I can remember like number good times, not really any bad times or whatever.
Yeah.
They were working and stuff. Even then, you know, moving forward from that, um, when they got together, they just talking, just laugh, and all the other stuff. I'm like, well, I never told them this, but I kept it in my heart. Um, I'm gonna keep it in my heart. Like, why I can do this like years ago, sitting out here laughing. And these are my parents. They sitting laughing. They like, you know, but
But I imagine that's how DeAndre feels, being realistic. Like, I imagine that's how he probably currently feels. Why couldn't this have been a thing years ago? Why couldn't this have been a thing when I was growing up, when I was little? You know?
yeah. Um, my parents never got diagnosed with anything. They were, I know they're just very hard workers and stuff. They're constant work, constant paying the bills and stuff, and um, the constant going to church. To put God first. I'm pretty sure there's depression in there somewhere. Um, Especially when my mom had a hard time and stuff, and when we didn't have whatever, or the car broke down, we're in the middle of nowhere. But other than that, they're just fine people. I think, like I said, I think my mental thing is just not have my dad there, being alone. I feel like my older brother getting all the spotlight and getting all the love, and I wasn't really getting it. I wanted it. I mean, I wanted somebody to hug me. I wanted somebody to love me and stuff like that. But it was like my mom. She didn't play like pick sides or whatever stuff. But I feel like my dad, you know, picked my brother's side, and he was the golden child and this and that. Like growing up, not even for my dad, even for my family on both sides. Well, no, not both sides. But on my mom's side, it's like Leon's the golden child and stuff, and
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, so I'm not gonna talk to y'all and stuff and whatever. So people are like, okay, something's wrong with me. And no, like you fucking damn, you showed me how you want me to treat you and stuff, whatever. I don't want to go around and hear the shit about Leon this and damn that. If you're not gonna treat me damn fair and stuff, I'm not gonna talk to you. I'm not gonna bring my kids around me. My kids feel uncomfortable around you and stuff. I'm not gonna damn do that.
Yeah.
So I didn't talk to yeah, I didn't talk to them. Now with, unfortunately my mom's death, I'm starting to talk to them. Now I told them all. I said I do talk. I said I just didn't want to talk back then.
Yeah.
So they know now. just so the family them know and stuff, whatever. It's like it's crazy. Like I, talk to my cousins, but like aunts and uncle and no. But it was it. Don't get me wrong though. There is some aunts and my uncles. They talk to me and I talk to them. Have conversations and stuff, whatever. So
So for those people who don't know, so you and your brothers don't all have the same dad. Who
no,
who has different fathers?
Corey, he's a younger one. He have a different father. Me and Leon, we have the same father.
Okay.
So so my mom got remarried. I was 13.
What was your relationship like with your mom and your older brother before your mom got remarried?
My mom was there. My mom was like she was everything. She made sure we had things. Like I said, she never picked sides. She got on me for um taking up for Leon and stuff house. He was just trouble. He would go over to this girl house, yes, the girl house and stuff, whatever. And I'd be going to the park and stuff, and he like, "Oh, meet me back here." And I'm like, "No, no." So, but um, yeah, me and my mom, we had a wonderful, growing up relationship. Um, it was it was a lot of things that I probably should have did with my mom that I'm regretting now. That I wish I could change and stuff, whatever, and um, things I should have accomplished while she was here on Earth. She pushed me a lot. Um, she never had doubts in me. She always said, "Oh, keep trying, keep trying." Especially like with job too. She always should have told me like, don't worry," because I made my feelings. She was like, don't worry. It's always another day. And that was her quote. And then my quote is like, it doesn't rain all the time. So, um, like the text message that I used to get was like every morning from my mom. It's cause I guess she learned things that I had a special gift that I never share with people, like the inspiration stuff or whatever. It just um like I wish somebody would told me some stuff back then that inspired me that I'm doing now to try to inspire people. That's why I try to reach out to people and stuff. And my mom, that's what she done for years before she got killed or whatever. So my mom and I, we learned a lot from each other for like past couple of years and stuff. And this is the special gift to interact with people.
Yeah. What was your clinical mental health diagnosis? This diagnosis that you received after all these years of this consistency in unhealthy choice making, strained relationships. You get to this point where your marriage has become toxic and kind of physical. Um, what was the diagnosis that you received, and how do you think that affected your previous life choices leading up to that point?
The It was mostly the depression because I felt like I was doing things. It wasn't. I felt like it wasn't 50-50 whatever stuff. And or we wasn't trying hard enough or whatever. I don't know. It was good sometimes. It's bad sometimes. Um, but she was like, "Okay, we go up here to this place, get you settled in." And we went up there, and I got to talk to the doctor, and I actually got to speak, how I felt and stuff, and so got me on my medicine for depression and stuff, and it wasn't. I mean, I seen a big difference. The she seen a big difference. The kids seen a big difference. But like the 3 weeks that I didn't take it, it just went down shit hill and stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
And it was a point that I tested um myself, that how would I be being off the medicine? Like I read the side effects, but I felt like I was like a zombie. I guess I felt like I was a lab rat for myself, and I wasn't myself, whatever.
Yeah.
So I didn't take it for like 3 weeks, and then the anger came back, and everything that just came back, and I was like, oh, this is not good, whatever. So when I was locked up, it was at 25%, and then they upped it up to 50%. I'm like, well, why are you upped up to 50% for? Because I'm not, this and that.
A lot of people don't realize that depression is a chemical thing. And while, you know, there are other treatments outside of medication, consistency is important in other treatments, therapy and things like that, but it's important in medication. Depression is a chemical thing in our brain, and just like any other chemical bodily issue, so to say, your treatment for those chemical things has to be consistent. Um, I know there was a point with my father where I feel like I've seen him medicated, and I've seen him unmedicated, and you know, there's a difference. And medicated, as in physical medication, therapy, treatment, I guess, rather than medication, but consistent treatment is important. Can you tell a difference in, I mean, you kind of answered this question already, but a difference in your when you put priority into your mental health, how that affects your current relationships, and as opposed to when you don't.
It, here's the thing, and let's be dead up honest. A lot of people don't talk about mental health. They
Mhm.
feel like that it's a pity party, that you're in your feelings and stuff, whatever. And it makes me mad because it's out there. Nobody wants to sit there and talk about it.
Mhm.
Why? It's like something's going on with this person. This person's not right, whatever. And that's what me. A lot of people they seen it, and people reached out to me because they used to see me doing this and that on Facebook versus like, oh, I'm angry, or I'm posting this and that, or I'm trying to get back at somebody. But it mellows me. It mellows. I mean, everything is fine when I'm on that medication. I'm like I said, um, it helps me with my development and my growth. I could think straight. Yeah, I could do a couple things I didn't think I could do, or whatever. Um, like I enjoy reading. I have not enjoyed reading since middle school.
Yeah.
Like I can stand damn reading damn what's the name. I was locked up. I had a ball damn finding books to damn read or whatever stuff. It was shit. I'm like, damn. I'll be up like damn 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, damn reading the damn book, whatever. And it's like, okay, so, but it it helps, and I recommend for anybody, not feeling that way, to find somebody either who's been there and done it, which that's what I had, and I highly recommend that over somebody who has went to college and has read books and all the other bullshit. No, just somebody it come out better hearing it from somebody who's been there and done it. It's just like how we have in the conversation
Yeah.
because we are the person who's involved in DeAndre life. Me being off and on and you being consistent, whatever, and people wanted to know and stuff. So it came out better hearing it from me than just hearing it from one side. Not saying that you was wrong for saying anything about me or whatever, but just the fact me coming on here, stating things and asking questions and getting it all out there on the table and stuff.
Yeah. 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 100%. I you mentioned kind of picking up reading in jail a minute ago. It's not funny, but it is because
It,
I
it, it is
it,
kind of funny
it
because
is.
like you got a damn TV in there, and it's like they help with the TV shit. Hell, you got a basketball court in there. The hell with them that shit. Grab a damn book and shoot.
Well, a lot of people don't know this, but I have been to jail as well, and I picked up the same kind of habit. It kind of like, if it does what it's supposed to, it can kind of like take you down a notch. It's like I have all this going on in life. I'm focusing on all these things that I shouldn't be. I'm getting into this trouble, whatever. I had an issue with alcohol. I had gotten a couple of DUIs and I'm in jail. And I'm just like, I don't have, like, I can't do shit else, right? I started
Right.
reading books by TD Jakes, and I'm like, I enjoy, I don't know, it's kind of like life was just like, hey, sit the hell down and think, like, okay, you're in jail. What else do you have to do? Right? You don't have your friends, you don't have your influences, you don't have the alcohol, you don't have the things, right? Like you literally are forced to sit there and think. And I picked up my love of reading kind of there too, because, you know, but I'm a really social person. And when I was in jail, I did, make a couple friends, but that wasn't the place where I wanted to be a social butterfly. Like, I'm
Right.
just in jail, like, "Oh, I just wanna be here to hang out and mingle with everybody." No, I would actually just wanted to be in myself reading and trying to get my shit together, because that's what you're there for, right? Like, that's part of why you're there, is to be isolated to the point you gotta work out your shit. So I started laughing when you said that. Not that it was like a funny situation, but I was like, "Ugh, I can actually relate to that." I became a lover of reading in jail too. A lot of people don't know that I was in jail. I wasn't there for a long time, not like this hardcore criminal, whatever. But like my kids make fun of me because they're like, okay, like you
So
were
yeah,
there for some
I'm
weekend.
the DJ. What's thing? Mama kind thug life and shit, whatever.
No,
West Side.
I am not. I am not
The mom was a
16-year-old
thug.
R dog anymore. It's not.
The mom was hitting people on the head late night. She had a sip of the OE.
Oh my if I don't know about you, but if I could go back and meet like 16-year-old Reah, I'd be like, what the hell are you doing? Can you please get your life together? Because you're gonna spend about 10 years of being a wreck, and like you could save a lot of people a lot of time just getting it together. Um so you know, your mental health plays a part in these things. It's something I learned with my father. It's something I learned with you. It's something I've learned with my ex-husband. Your mental health plays a huge part in your relationships. Um, and for those of you who are going through mental health struggles and it's affecting your relationships, there's two things. Cater to it. It's important. Cater to it. Not only for yourself, but for your future 23-year-old son, your grandchildren, it affects people. And as we know, you can't go back and change it. You can't go back and change it. Sometimes people die with the relationship unchanged. Sometimes people die with the relationship being a little bit better, but still some things that weren't great, and you don't want to leave it like that. You don't want to leave that relationship unresolved. You can't change the past. There's things I can't change the past, you can't change the past. But if you're somebody who's going through it right now, it's important to cater to, because it you can change the future, and that starts with taking care of yourself. That's all of my questions. Is there anything else that you want to talk about, or that things that people have asked you over time that you want to make sure that you get answered in this?
I think I answer everything, and um it's up to them. It's their mind, their soul, so how they react to this podcast. Now, I'm not gonna judge them or whatever,
Yeah.
but you know it's something that need to be out there. It shouldn't take this long to be out there, but it'll be out there. I hope everybody have a learning experience about this or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, that's why we're here. You know, can't change the past, but you can work to do better in the future. And that is answering questions and working to do better is why we're here. So
Right.
I appreciate you being here. I'm glad that you asked me to come on and do this. And I'm glad that we are working toward being the people that we are, being able to have this conversation. And if you're listening and you still have questions, let me know, and maybe we'll come back later for more answers. If you want to let people know where they can find you on social media.
On Facebook at Fred Lampkin. On Instagram is Legend LEGEND 704. Snapchat is Legend Lounge 21. If you have any questions or whatever, I'm freely to answer any questions. I'm an open book.
All right. Well, thank you for being here, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right. You have a day.
You too. Bye. Check us out on YouTube at Reah Higgs, ReahHagues. You can also keep up with us on Instagram at Just the Who Podcast and Facebook at Philology.